Hi, everybody. I have missed you. It's been a long time since I was here, but life has so many things. They say mambo ni mengi, masando machache, but the important thing is that we keep showing up, and here I am today. And when you see me, you know it's time for a story. It's going to be a good one, so stay put. I promise you, we are going to enjoy it. Have you ever been told to go out of a place and go somewhere completely new? You leave your family, your friends, and would you do it? First of all, I personally know that it would be hard for me to go to a place that I don't even know. People abroad are complaining that there's no sense of community. People are always working. Imagine going to a place where you know no one, their systems are different. I know it would be definitely hard for me. But there's this one man in the Bible. He was told, hey man, get up from your country, leave your family, your native country, and go to a place I will show you. And he's not even being told that this is the exact place. He's just told, just start, I will show you. When you get to that place, you will know. I don't know if I would do it, honestly. But this man, a friend of God, a patriarch, father of many nations, father of faith. And I know you didn't know this, but God himself refers to him as a prophet. This man, Abraham, was told to leave everything he has and move to a place where God will show him. Amazing story. I'm going to tell you all about it, and later on we'll get to find out lessons from his journey, his character, who he is, and many other things. Karibu sana. I'm so excited for this. So I'll start off with telling you a little background about Abraham and his family. They lived in Ur together with their father Terah. He had two brothers, Haran and Nahor. Haran had two daughters, that is Milcah and Iscah, together with Lot, their brother. Then Nahor married Milcah. Back then, they used to intermarry. It was okay to marry your relative, your sister. And that is also what Abraham did. He marries Sarai, who is also his half-sister. They share the same father, different mothers. But while they were in Ur, Haran dies. And that is why we see Abraham take up Lot, and they walk with him everywhere he goes. You get to hear Lot. Abraham together with Lot, they go along because his father died back in Ur. So his father Terah decides, let's head to Canaan. And they take up everything, they start going. But when they reach Haran, they stop and they settle there. Unfortunately, that's where he dies. Terah dies in Haran, and the Lord appears to Abraham and tells him, I want you to leave your native country, leave everything you have, and move to a place that I will show you. And it doesn't stop there. We see God giving Abraham his first promise. He tells him, Abraham, I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. And families all over the earth will be blessed through you. How amazing. And Abraham, together with his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot, they take everything they have and they start heading out towards Canaan. And it's interesting that his father Terah had intended to go to Canaan but couldn't reach there. And now we see God telling Abraham to start his journey, and he starts heading towards Canaan. Who knows? Let's find out. Is it Canaan? Where is he headed to? So they go and they reach Canaan. So there they go to a place called Shechem. That is in Canaan. And God appears to him and anamwambia, Abraham, you see this place, this land of Canaan? Now this is where your offspring will be. I will give you so many descendants. This is the land I was showing you, I was telling you about. And Abraham builds an altar and he worships the Lord. As a remembrance to remember, God spoke there. He promised me something while I was at Shechem. He continues with his journey and he goes to a place between Bethel and Ai. The same thing he does, builds an altar and worships the Lord. And I want you to notice what he does when he gets to every place where he settles. After Bethel and Ai, he moves towards the Negev. But then there comes a time where there's a great famine, there's no food in the place where they were. Abraham decides, let's go to Egypt. They set out with his wife Sarai, but just before they enter Egypt, tells Sarai, my wife, you know you're very beautiful, and when you get to Egypt, these people will want you and they will kill me because of that, so that they can have you. So what you do, when we get there, tell them that you're my sister, so that they can spare my life and I can be treated favorably because of your beauty, because of you. They get to Egypt and Sarai receives all sorts of praises because of her beauty. And even the Pharaoh's officials, they go and tell Pharaoh about her and eventually take her to him. And true to his word, Abraham is treated nicely. Pharaoh sends him gifts, sheep, cattle, servants, many things. He gains a lot of wealth because of Sarai. But who is God? God is not pleased with man when you do the wrong things. He sends a plague to Pharaoh's household, a serious disease, and it consumes his household. And I guess back then you would know the cause of a certain disease or plague. He summons Abraham. Abraham, you come here. What are you doing to me? Why didn't you tell me that this lady is your wife? Why? And I can imagine how Sarah was beautiful. Imagine everyone was praising her because of her beauty. No questions. Pharaoh was so angry, told Abraham, take your things and everything that you own. I don't want to see you in this country. Even sent some of his officials to escort him. Go, I do not want to see you. Enough is enough. So Abraham, together with his wife Sarai and everything he had, they go out of Egypt, because Pharaoh had enough of it. So here is Abraham and Sarai from Egypt. They go back to the Negev, and from there they head towards the place where they had settled before, between Bethel and Ai. When they get there, they build another altar for the Lord. Remember I told you what Abraham does where he settles? We see that he builds an altar in every place that he goes, and he calls on the name of the Lord and he worships him. How amazing. I got goosebumps just reading his story. So because they were living, he had acquired a lot of wealth. They were with Lot. Lot himself acquires a lot of wealth. The Canaanites were still living in that land, the Perizzites. And there started to be disputes between Lot's servants, or the people who work for him, and Abraham's servants. Because the land was under strain, it could not sustain both of them and all the people in the land. So Abraham calls Lot and then tells him, Lot, my dear nephew, we don't need to quarrel or have conflicts. I mean, we're close relatives. Just look at the countryside, look everywhere. And wherever you choose, that will be your place. If you choose to the right, I'll go to the left. If you choose to the left, I will go to the right. Abraham was such a good uncle to his nephew Lot. So kind, so wise. So Lot looks at the land, and he spots somewhere down there over the Jordan, looks to the east, and he sees that the land is well watered. And the Bible says it's well watered, like the garden of the Lord, or like the land of Egypt. Egypt must have been a very rich land. Remember, even the time of Joseph, when there was famine, they still went to Egypt. Egypt has never lacked. Lot sees Jordan to the east, well watered, and that's where he chooses. And he goes there, settles near the city and the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Bible still cautions us, it reminds us, but those people were wicked and they were sinful. But Lot didn't know that. He only looked at the fertile land. That's where he wanted to go graze his cattle, his livestock. Abraham remains where he is, After that, God calls him, Abram, now come out, come out. Just look to the east, to the west, north, south, everywhere. Just look around. You see this land? This is the land that I will give to your descendants as a permanent possession. Imagine, this is the land that I will give to your people as a permanent possession. And your descendants, they'll be so many, like the dust of the earth. And if you can count them, that is exactly the number that I will give you. Imagine. Just come out. Look everywhere. This is the land I will give to your descendants. And from there, Abraham goes on to Hebron, and he settles near someone called Mamre. And there again, he builds an altar for the Lord. What an amazing man. He never forgets to put up an altar for the Lord, to remind him that, God, I am here, so will you be here. You're not leaving me here, and I will consult you, you will guide me. That is Abraham for you. So about this time, there's a war that breaks out in that region. There are these kings and these kings, and they go against each other. There was the king of Kedar together with his allies, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah together with his allies. 4 kings against 5. And these kings, together with their territory, they had been under King Kedar for about 12 years. But on the 13th year, they decide enough is enough. We're going to fight for ourselves. We want freedom. But 1 year later, these kings, they decide, you people, there is no freedom that you are getting. They go fight the nations, the territories around there, and they conquer them. And then they turn back to these other people, these other kings. They prepare for war, and they go to the battlefield at some valley. They call it the Dead Valley. They're preparing for war. And these 4 kings, imagine they're 4 against 5. They must have been very fierce. They've already conquered all these territories, and now they're headed to fight with these kings. But unfortunately, it seems like they were overpowered, and they start running away. And in that valley, it was full of tar pits. And some were trapped in there, some fled onto the mountains. These kings, headed by King Kedar, they go into Sodom and Gomorrah. They take everything, food supplies, everything that they find. And again, unfortunately, they capture Lot and his people and everything. They go with them. But who is God? He will send helpers for you. He sent helpers for Lot. One of his men escapes this tragedy, and he goes first thing to his uncle Abram, my God, your nephew Lot has been captured by these kings. And Abram immediately puts on his protective gear. Hey, you guys, I hope we have people who will stop at nothing to fight for us. Immediately, there were 318 men in his household, trained men, soldiers. He mobilizes them and tells them, we're going for my nephew Lot. He has been captured. They pursue this King Kedar and his army, and they catch up with him at a place called Dan. He divides his army men into groups and tells them, we're going to attack at night. But King Kedar and his army escape. It doesn't stop there. He continues to pursue them. And finally, they catch up with him at a place called Hobah, and he rescues Lot together with everything that he had and other captives. What a man. Imagine somebody fighting for you like that. Abraham has defeated King Kedar and his army and is headed back. King of Sodom decides, let me meet with this man Abraham. He has recovered everything and has my people. Remember, his people were captured together with Lot. They meet at the King's Valley. That same place, the king of Salem, Melchizedek, who was also a priest, comes to meet Abraham. And I don't know, Salem should be Jerusalem, I don't know, but yeah, he comes to also meet Abraham, and he stand by him. He says, "May they be blessed, Abraham. May you be blessed." And he praises his God. Praised be your God, for he helped you to fight, and you won victory over your enemies. And he had brought him bread and wine. How thoughtful. Abraham is a kind-hearted man. He says, "I will give you a tenth of everything that I have recovered." And the king of Sodom must have been there, looking, following the conversation. Now his turn. He comes to Abraham. "For me, I don't want anything. I just want my people. The people that you took back, please give them to me." But Abraham is a wise man. He tells King of Sodom, "I will not take anything from you, not even the thread of a sandal, I will not. So that you come and say that you made me rich? No, I will not do that. The only thing I will take is what my men at war have eaten, and I will require that at least my allies, while pursuing the Kedar and his army, he had gone with his neighbor Mamre and his relatives Eshcol and Anna. Kwambia, at least give them a fair share. That's the only thing I'll take. But me, I will not have anything of yours. I will be rich on my own." So sometimes wisdom is great. Some people will help you, not because they are genuine, so that later they will come and say, "Without you, you are nothing." Be wary, be able to decipher and know such people. Know their intentions. Abraham said, "I will not take anything from you. I will not." Wise man, Abraham. Around that time, God appears to Abraham and tells him, "Abraham, do not be afraid. I will protect you and your reward will be great." Maybe Abraham must have been afraid. The war that was happening, he's in a new country. God tells him, "Do not be afraid. I will protect you and your reward will be great." For the first time, we see Abraham express his frustration. Tells God, "You keep promising me this, that, 1, 2, 3. Yet, I do not have an heir of my own. This servant, Eliezer from Damascus, is the one who is going to inherit my property. So of what use are all these things that you're promising me?" God tells Abraham, "Relax, relax, relax. No such thing will happen, because you will have an heir of your own, and he is the one who is going to inherit your property." Can we even look up at the stars? If you can count them, then go ahead. Those are the number of descendants that you will have, and I will give them this land as a permanent possession. And the Bible says, "And Abraham believed the Lord, and the Lord counted him righteous because of his faith." Wow. How easy is it for you to believe what God tells you? We are always doubting, but Abraham believed. God tells him, "I will give them this land. I will give you this land." And again, we see Abraham expresses doubt. He asks God, "How can I be sure that all these things you're telling me is true?" It goes to show you that even when we doubt, it doesn't mean that our faith is gone. It's okay to doubt. It's okay to ask God those questions. But the important thing is, don't lose your faith, but ask those questions. Abraham asked those questions. "Tell me, God, how do I know that this is what you've planned for me? This is what I will indeed inherit?" And they made a covenant. God akamwambia, "Go and bring a heifer, a ram, and a female goat, all 3 years old." He also told him to bring a turtle dove and a young pigeon. Abraham brings them, cuts the animals into halves, but leaves the birds. And he burns the sacrifices. Birds are coming to eat the carcasses, but he chases them away. I don't know the significance of that, but that is how they made the covenant. God tells him, "I will indeed do it for you. Believe me, Abraham." And Abram falls into a deep sleep. There's darkness covering him. And the Lord goes ahead to tell him about these descendants. He tells Abraham, these descendants, they will be enslaved for 400 years in a foreign land. But don't worry, because I will punish the people who enslave them. And after that, they will come out of there with great wealth. He tells them after 4 generations, that is when they'll be able to come here. I guess after those 400 years, that is when they will come back to this land. I will give you this land, Abraham. And as for you, my dear Abraham, you will die in a ripe old age. Hey, imagine someone told you that. You're 30, 40, not having a family yet. And you're told, don't worry, there's still time for you. You'll still have your babies. You'll still have everything that you want. And you will die in a ripe old age, peacefully. Amazing. God indeed loved this Abraham. He loved this man, Abraham. The sun sets, it's evening, and I guess to show that indeed we have made this covenant I've made this covenant with you. There's a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch that passes in between the carcasses. Probably things about, I don't know how they used to do covenants back then, but that was what happened. And God tells Abraham, I will indeed do it for you. This land, from there to there to there, it is yours. I will give it to you. Amazing. Hey, great story. I will stop here for part 1, but I will come back to continue with the story of Abraham. We'll get to see, did all these things that God promised him, did he fulfill them? Did he get an heir of his own? What happened? Did he actually die in a ripe old age? That's what you're going to discuss, or I'm going to tell you that story in part 2. I am here for you. I will always be telling you stories. If you don't find me here, you can find me in my blog. I write stories every now and then. I've been doing it for the last 9 years. I am always telling you stories, and I hope you enjoy them. I will appreciate if you give me feedback on how you receive my stories and what you think I should talk about. Have a good day. See you in the next part.